right. We are back from our 2-week layoff, but we've been working like crazy. I'm Ben Knight here, joined by my co-host, who is now the second best bracket racing Hayabusa riding big man in the game. Welcome back.
Not humble.
Not humble. He's not humble at all. He's an asshole. Dustin Lee is in the house. Also 43-time champ.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. All right. Not safe for work. And we love y'all. Can we get it?
Right off the rip, you're going to send the
love.
hearts.
We're sending love.
You had to shake that thing like you was good at that.
Shake it. Maybe a genie will pop out this mofo.
Not safe for work.
No, yeah. All right. Shout out to our amazing sponsors. We've got Brock's Performance, giving away a set of BST wheels full of worldwide bearings. BST, MTC Engineering, Mitch Brown, and Monster Race Products. We got a set of billet shift forks, right? We're giving away.
Sitting on the shelf. We don't even know if we told y'all that. Mitch Brown donated a set of billet shift forks. Blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. Zimbabwe'd up in here. Platinum General Services. Ralphie is the man supporting our sport all across. We got Schnitz Racing, DME Racing. We are giving away a DME Racing billet top clamp for a Hayabusa tonight. We are also giving away a Schnitz Racing gift certificate. So 2 winners tonight. We got Hard Times Parts and Service, the man himself here. Penske Racing Shocks. If y'all did not go see Dustin at XDA, I don't know what the heck y'all are doing with your life. We got MPS Racing, Montgomery Motorsports, Steve Nichols, and Max ECU. We've got a Max ECU to give away this year. We got BMF Motorsports, and last but not least, University of Wind. And we got one more that we're working on. We got to firm it up, but we got a cool one coming too. What about Larry McBride? Can't forget him.
Oh, our man Larry. We got t-shirts. We should give away a t-shirt tonight.
We should. Yeah.
We're going to give away 3.
Hey,
Count
wait.
1, 2, 3.
Did y'all miss us?
I
feel like it's been a minute.
They missed us.
Even though we done a live like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness. Y'all got to keep the love coming. You got to let Dustin and I know at the races and Messenger that you love it, because that's what we thrive on, to be honest. It's great to hear it getting you through your work week or your drive to the racetrack, whatever it is.
Yeah, we help you get through the week and we add the ERS.
Yeah. We had you guys probably, guys and girls probably know at this point, we kind of wing it off the cuff usually, but we had about a 40 minute meeting of the minds prior to hitting record. So this is going to be
we knew what we
hours.
were doing. We just BS,
we had to catch up. We've been so busy, we have not talked to each other in like a week.
Not much. Usually it's every day. Ben will call me on the way home and he loses signal almost there, then he comes back, and like it's a normal thing usually.
I talk to Dustin more than my wife. I don't think that's a good thing.
Well, I talk to you probably like 3rd or 4th. I talk to DME way more than I do anybody. The girls at DME, I talk to them so much every day. It's ridiculous.
So shout out to our sponsors. We appreciate them getting us all these great prizes to give away. Shout out to y'all, the subscribers.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Supporters. Yeah, we got about 50 or so left. I don't know what
Trey / Marcus Moore took him as fender this weekend at Knoxville. I looked over and he done cut the back off of it, because like that's what we all do, and then folded on his back. He was holding pieces up. Yeah, it looked good. Yep. Tickled to death.
Awesome. $100. He got a swag pack and then a $500 carbon fiber fender, and he's still in all the giveaways.
I got those fenders on my bikes and I paid for them. So I'm a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie. So that just means if you're already in this, sign your old lady up. You could probably potentially benefit from it. Just saying. I'm still trying to reach my 150 goal. We're close.
We're close. We're real close. We are. Hold on.
Y'all could really make me happy and we could max out, but 150, I'm a goal guy. Everybody knows that.
We're right at like 140.
Yeah. So everybody knows that I have goals. And when we started this deal, I told Ben, I was like, I'd like to see 150, and I'm going to preach about it until we get there. And then if we get there, I'm going, how can we get to 200? Let's just see if we can. Just the way I am.
Yep. So those are
we're going to talk about some racing, right? Racing results.
All we're going to talk about is racing tonight. We're going to go SDBA. because Dustin and I are pretty sure we did not talk about that in the last one. And if we did,
Well, we only had a
sorry about your luck.
live.
Yeah, it was
So,
live. So I don't
because it
think we
was
did.
the week, like they were back to back. We went SDBA, and then we only had like I only had 4 short days to get ready for XDA. And then XDA, we come back from that, and we took the weekend off because we done a live before XDA, and we wanted to see what happened with Pro Stock Motorcycle. So we're going to
And
touch
I
on
was at
that.
NHRA, so
Yeah. I was supposed to have been there, and I backed out.
man.
And,
It's all right.
you sometimes you have to do what's smart for yourself and not having
They don't need
overwhelming.
no excuses. Eddie
Oh,
done
I'm
beat
just
you up
saying.
about that.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'll see Eddie at Bristol most likely. So
Oh, I don't know, man. He was like, I had tickets for Dustin last year and he didn't show up. So you might
did he
not.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, he just told me I could come, like I could hang out with him. I didn't know he had tickets.
Just saying. Just saying.
Look,
Anyways.
man, I got a lot of yard to mow, so
All
I
right,
might
let's
not
get
make
into
it this
this.
time because of yard. Who knows?
Let's get into this. We're going SDBA action right off the rip.
Ah,
Season opener. So we're gonna run through the results and yeah, then we're gonna talk a little bit about it and see what's happening. So let's see. You want to start us off with a class and I'll pick up where you
I
drop
mean, the
off?
shootouts were the first thing, so we'll go over those. And the no box shootout. In the it was in the final was John Markham and Cody Spires. John ended up winning that one. And in the box shootout in the final was myself and Wesley Brown. Um,
My
little
man
thing,
Wes Brown. I
a
miss
little
you,
thing
brother.
about Wes, keyword here. I said box shootout. He wasn't using one. He was bottom bulb in the 3DT style.
That's a
And
bad
I think he
mofo.
was in the semis of no box, maybe. If not, sorry, thought he was. Either
Look, when
way,
Wes is on, get out of his
yeah,
way.
yeah. He's just in the groove. He's just in the groove, and he um he made it to the final of box. I cannot remember how the race played out. I just know I won. I can't remember. Been
That was
three
too many.
weeks
I
ago.
was gonna say that was too
So
many weeks ago.
yeah, yeah,
So you did you get through all the shootouts then? It
yeah.
was
There was only those two.
okay. And then Wes Brown followed that up by winning Super Comp. I don't really know who he raced. Do you? Oh, he
Uh,
raced you?
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, that was my bad. That was not rubbing salt in the wound. I just
He
didn't know.
raced me, and Wes
So y'all
treated me a
race?
little bit,
Yeah.
and I got down there, and I thought, man, we're breaking out, and instead I took, let's see, no, he got like a double O ahead of me, I think, at the stripe, but I broke out, and he had me enough on the tree to be better off than I was. It was a double breakout deal, but Wes they took me out on that deal. So a good weekend for Wes, runner up and a win, um, runner up in the box shootout, a win in Super Comp.
Yeah. But then the second best big man bracket racing booster
Busa.
rider.
Make sure you say the Busa big man, second best Busa big man bracket.
Second best
Something like
bracket racer to ride a Hayabusa.
Yeah.
He's got to be a big man.
Never rode
He
anything
can't,
else.
can't,
Only rode a Hayabusa ever.
can't be humble either.
Wait, I
That
got a
guy won top
GS6R.
gas.
Who knows?
Who knows? That guy won top gas. That guy.
Yeah, he did, and
Congrats,
he
buddy.
really didn't deserve it.
Oh,
I do
come on.
I do want to touch on something. The top gas one to me was very important.
Yeah, because didn't you and Mantez race?
No, it wasn't nothing to do with that.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry. Well, did y'all race?
Yeah, it was me and
In the
Mantez in
finals?
the final.
Yeah, but y'all raced a lot last year too.
Yeah, several times. But the importance to the final to me was hours before finding out this, I got told that we lost Jay at APE. So
oh yeah.
That crankshaft and that motorcycle will always be Jay's crankshaft. And I talked to his daughter prior to that final, and I wanted that dude bad. And saying that, I didn't really do the best job as a racer. I think old Jay had something to do with that win because I was trying to send him down the breakout road and somehow I slid in front of him 002. So I'll take it. Sometimes Jesus has got to take the wheel,
That's
but
right.
I actually mailed that little trophy to Diane the
Oh,
next
really?
Monday. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
put her
awesome.
little note in the back of it and the date and dedicated it to Jay and mailed it to him.
Dude, that's
Not humble at all. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's like the most non-humble. That's awesome. That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Little
my
side
daughter
note
loves
though.
those trophies, but that one was going
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know.
And a little side note. We're just having fun. We love the best big man booster bracket raiser.
Oh,
He's a
that's my
friend of ours.
dude.
He's an
Uh,
ET gangster. He deserves accolades for sure. He's
he
our
actually
homie.
messaged me after that, the fact
Oh
that that
yeah.
was out, and like, hey, man, I'm like, bro, we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
It has
don't you
nothing to do
sweat
with him.
that.
Has nothing to do with him.
Now, Jay's my buddy. I mean, not Jay. Jeff is my buddy, and I feel like that he's one of the people at XDA that me and you just chill with when we get time
Yeah.
to. You know what I mean? So
That's what's great. That's
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 what
what
us
we
goats
love.
do, right? As we hang out together.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh,
we tell that in school, another school tip. We always encourage our members, like, you got to find you a couple race buddies at the track that you get along with, and two or three, brains put together, you get a lot more done. You can
and
bounce ideas off each other.
you just never see a goat by itself. That's all
That's
I'm
right.
saying.
That's right. Just grazing in the fields. All right, back to
We
the
ain't picking
action.
grass though. We picking OEs.
That's right. That's right. Pick us up. Let's see. We did
Oh, okay. We were the top gas, so we could
yeah.
go to Street ET,
Yep.
the regular Street ET. There's
Okay.
true hand clutch Street ET, and then there's normal Street ET. I would like to call it the Tennessee Street ET.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I heard it was called. We're on it tonight. We're
We're
fucking making jokes.
on point tonight. Well, we got to shout out the originator of that. That was probably one
Yeah,
of the coolest things he ever came up with.
the gloat. He ain't the goat. He's the gloat.
Oh man, shout out to Mr. England. That was a good
Yeah,
one. I'll know
yeah, it was.
that's forever what it
But
is.
now he races Tennessee Street ET.
Yeah,
So,
it's all
it's
good.
kind of ironic how that happens.
Much
Anyway,
much love to
Hard
the
Times
goat.
Parts and Service sponsored Street ET at
There you go.
SDBA.
Tennessee
Um,
Street ET. Can we
yeah,
get an
started off
official
the
name
day.
change?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe we'll do that next year. We'll talk
All
to
right.
Sonny.
All right.
Started the day off with the most entries of any class at STBA. Meanwhile, I didn't enter the class. Just noting, I didn't run the class. I dropped it. Just trying to have more fun, less work. Anyway, in the semifinals, we had last year's champ, Grady Powell, Chris Johnson, Sonny Vick, and Alfonso Thompson. And Vic beat Thompson. And
Gravy.
wait, no, let's see. Yeah, Vic and Thompson raced in the finals. I don't know what
Oh,
happened
okay.
prior to that. Obviously, Chris Johnson and Grady lost. I don't know how. But anyway, Sonny Vic ended up getting the dub, as he said in his recap. Parked it on the dance floor. I didn't get to park none of my stuff on the dance floor, but either way, he
I was
won.
supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there.
He was supposed to be there. I mean, I had a bike for you to ride, but it probably blowed up on you because it did me.
That's
So
why. Yeah. That'd have been bad. That'd have been a bad way to start the
and
season.
we'll get to that later in this. This is going to be a long episode, just so y'all know.
2 hours plus guaranteed. Calling it.
The true hand clutch Street ET. So, you got to have OEM clutch. Can't have no Gen 2s, Hayes, none of that jab. Who runs a Hayes? I don't know. Gen 2. Anyway, we got down to the final, and it was Curtis Cochran. See, I fucked that up. Cochran. Cochran.
They're going to think we've been drinking on this episode.
Curtis Cochran, and he raced Artie Beatty. And in the final,
Curtis.
it was Mr. Curtis got it done, which is cool. It was his first SDBA win, and
That's awesome.
I love it. Speaking of first wins, it wasn't her first, but it was also the University of Win Proving Grounds class, which me and Ben, of course, have a little bit of love for. Because we sponsor it. So
look, and
I guess
that's another thing.
Ben does that one. He's the COO, whatever you want to call it, of Universe. The president, whatever the fuck it is.
We don't know. We don't know. But look, hey, I don't know if I feel like we probably did, but look, even our little school, we do love this sport. Just so
we're giving
know.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we're not getting over here. We're not
living up high on the hill in a mansion,
So if
but we're still
what we're
giving
saying
back.
is if Ben does buy a Super C to pull his new trailer, it's not because of the podcast or the damn school. It's because he has a regular job. Just saying.
No, I have 3 jobs, and it's because I financed it. Is what that would
Yeah.
be. That's
Yeah.
what that would be.
Yeah.
Bank
It's
owns
all
that
just a
bad boy.
signature, just
Yeah,
a signature. No big deal. It's just a
monthly
payment.
payment and a signature.
Anyway,
But yeah, we are excited this year to pick up the proving grounds because that's to our knowledge, the only actually true beginners class that we know of in existence.
and it
Because look,
fits us and
we're
that business.
we're not jiving at Street T's beginners class. I'm just putting that out there.
No, it's definitely not. I
That's our
mean,
opinion.
the crippler to that deal is you could take some of the greatest riders in the world and they can race that class. So
Yeah.
it's not a beginner's
Yeah.
class.
But this is a true beginners class.
Yes,
They race for
they kick
only
you out if you
trophy.
win the
Yeah.
championship. Like you
Yep.
can't do it no more.
Yep.
So
And you have
and
to
if
be
you show up
approved to
at
race.
inner and you're really good, they're going to kick you out.
Yeah.
So and anything goes too, by the way. You can have slider bar bike, you can have a street bike with a Gen 2, you can have a street bike that's stock. It's whatever, whatever, pick your poison, but you have to be new. Which if Tamara ever gets her life right to race the Trunchbull, I would love
Poor
for her
Tamara.
to, because I'm tired of riding it. I mean, it's a good bike, but it don't fit me like my sofas do, my Busas. But the second best Busa racer thing. And the bike is great, but that would be the class that I would put her in, right? She just gets to learn and have fun and pace herself and no rush. And then if she wants to do other stuff later, if she starts doing good, then we'll go there. But I don't think she's ever going to, guys. She likes me being her cash cow. So
And you said Miss Jessica Hatley pulled
yeah,
off
she
the big
won.
dub.
Yep, over Terrell Thompson, and super cool. She actually won it last year at the first race.
Oh, nice.
So she may be pushing the limits of being in the class.
I'd say
She'd be
so.
every time she shows up.
I'd say so.
But now in her defense, she races with Jerry Turner at Bristol. So she's been trained by one of the goats, out there. The baddest ZX14 racer, I guess.
Easy
In
there.
my opinion, he is like, but whatever. Opinions are like, whatever. Anyway, she races with Jerry at Bristol and they run all the points up there, and she races with good racers, and she's obviously showing it. She comes to Proving Grounds, and 2 years in a row, she won the first race, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
look,
love seeing the excitement on her face, and she's very excited.
Yeah. We're gonna get that stuff posted up on the page here this week probably. But look, the main thing is if you're hesitant to get out and go race, pick out an SDBA. You got to go to it. Welcome you with open arms, and we'll get you in the proving grounds class, and you can have some fun and learn.
I'm pretty sure it's free to race.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't even know, to be honest.
I'm 90% sure that you don't even have to pay entry fee to race the Proving Grounds.
We sponsor it, but I honestly have no clue.
I mean, you don't. There's not a payout.
Yeah, it's
you
a
just
trophy,
get
right?
a trophy. But I'm 95 or 95% sure that you don't even, like, if you just want to come hang out and watch and maybe play in that class, that's the one. That's you. That's where you need to be. Enjoy watching us knuckleheads racing and other stuff. Then you get to go out there and play too, and then you come back and watch us knuckleheads again. And there's definitely things
I just confirmed. True beginner class, no entry fee, trophy to the winner.
That's perfect, right? I mean, I feel like that you could ride in on your Harley or whatever, Gixxer, Busa, and go up there and sign up for that class and make passes during the day for fun. And then you still get to watch all the other coolness,
Yep.
I mean, you get to see knuckleheads. I mean, how many times do you see a 280-pound dude ride a Hayabusa going 510 at 144?
Pretty cool.
I mean, that's a lot of body mass to go that fast. Just saying.
Yeah.
Might even go faster this weekend. The weather holds out. Never know.
There you go. All right. So shout
Where
out.
were we at? We done the true hand clutch. I
don't think we did. Shout out to Briley Tipton, who won What a Graphic junior class. They do also have juniors at SDBA. SDBA is great. If you got a family, you got learning to race, just pack on up.
I want to say that paid like $1,000. They had $1,000 to win guaranteed. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, damn, I stuffed Tamara in one of these things. Like, I'm out there.
Right. No joke. What did we get? Ultra Sports
Burnout Cycles V Twin.
Okay.
The semi was Crosby Blair, Rick Bryant, Lauren Potter, Alfonso Thompson. Potter and Thompson met in the finals, and Potter went 007 red. That one had more info in that one. I knew how the race went. And then Ultra Sportsman, sponsored by Voodoo. Kevin Jones was the #1 qualifier. Nicholas Bowling took the semi win over Ronnie Woodall Jr. to face Bam Rucker. In the finals, Rucker taking the victory on his ZX14 to put it on the dance floor. He even got on the dance floor. Where was my dance floor?
Oh man, you weren't dancing.
Yeah, Pro ET. I'll be
Talk
darned.
about this. Talk about this one a little bit.
Me? Okay.
Talk about the finals.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. Oh yeah, you got me. Like, let me
shout out.
This was. So I'm racing Pro ET. Y'all know me. Like, I only entered 3 classes on Saturday. I won the box shootout Friday night. So of course I'm in Pro ET going later rounds, doing good. And we get down to the semis, and I had to race. Who did I have to race? I think it was Dalton.
Yeah,
I had to race Dalton
right.
twice because we had to re-race because the timing system lost its mind. Anyway, I raced Dalton. He lit it red on me. I'm looking over in the semis, and Warren Eldred on a Busa. I'm talking it should be in true hand clutch street ET, which he probably was. Street bike, stock clutch.
Did he ride it
because
there?
I don't think he did to this one, but he has been known to ride his Bandit to the racetrack with a tent on the back of it and race and then drive home.
Look, if y'all don't know Warren, if you ever see him or hear that he's at a racetrack, go up and introduce yourself. Warren's an OG,
legend and dedicated
badass dude.
Yes.
And look, he's a testament that you don't have to have a setup like Dustin. You don't have to have a setup like me. You can ride your motorcycle to the track and kick some ass.
We're talking about Pro ET. We're talking about full sliders, slicks, wheelie bars, delay boxes, standalones, everything you can put on that damn thing. Everything you can buy is allowed, right? It's just a dial-in full tree class. You can have a box. You don't have to have one. It's just, there's options. And he shows up on a stock Busa that is got a lot of blow by, apparently, that's puking oil in the airbox and smoking. I told him there's a piece of foam there. It's supposed to stop the oil. But anyway, he's in the finals of Pro ET on this thing. So saying that, it's the old method that I've always told everybody. No matter what you do, master your craft. Yeah. Obviously, he's mastered his craft of stock motorcycles. Between the Bandit and this Busa, he can pretty much jump on anything and go racing and go rounds.
Yeah.
I didn't cut him any slack because I know exactly who he is. I ain't gonna lie. My box was set for 10 and I pulled 5 out on him and I was 005. Like, I'm not giving him nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't leaving. I'm not getting my butt kicked. I wore it on this street bike and I got all these cool widgets. No, not happening. So I pulled some numbers out like it's going to be red or really good. And it was really good. And I happened to win. It's weird because, like, I had a really good weekend and then I go to XDA and have a decent weekend, and it's like, it's crazy. But anyway, I went to the final in every class of race. That's pretty cool. Yeah. On Saturday. But
like we said, shout out to Warren because, like,
yeah,
what Dustin, in case that was just all boobity gloopity, if that you didn't make any sense, all Dustin was trying to say is that in theory, on paper, Warren had a bike that just wasn't up to snuff. You know, didn't have all the helpful gadgets that are allowed in that class. And man, that man did not care because he's an OG and he's a badass racer.
Oh yeah, he's a legend, man. Like, Warren, and he's super cool. You know, of course I was like, hey man, you want to split? He's like, hell yeah. I'm like, cool. Because look, guys, that in my opinion, splitting with somebody in the final is just good camaraderie, or however you say that word. Like, it's just good. It's just sharing the love. You know, ain't got to be a jerk. We split the money, go up there, race for the trophy. It is what it is. Like, and he done I'm still like,
look, the ultimate compliment is that you took numbers out of your box to hit the
hell yeah. I'm not slacking on him. I don't know he's good.
I know, but I'm saying, yeah, that's
I was confident that I could do that and be okay. because I knew where I'd been running all day,
Yeah.
but I was not going to go up there and go 0-1-0 and then him pop one on me. And then no,
That's wild.
no, I would
wild.
rather just red light it away than to get smoked, like not happening. And I took a shot at it and it worked out. It might not next time, but it did that time.
Hey.
I think
that's all.
I think that is SDBA.
We got Proving Grounds, we got Street T, we got Ultra Sportsman, V Twin, Hand Clutch, we got Tennessee Street ET, Junior Super Comp, Top Gas, Pro ET. That's it, right? In the show.
Yeah, we went over V Twin. Yeah.
All right.
We got them all.
We got it. Yeah.
Now, in a short Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was at XDA. Ben wasn't there yet. He showed up briefly after I did. But I got there Thursday morning at 4 a.m. And we do have all the XDA results other than
it's
the
there
Voodoo.
Now. No, it's there. I just pulled it up. That's why I was like,
no
look
way.
Yep, it's there.
I got it. Wow.
It's there.
Man, thank you, Jason Miller. You just now helped us out because now we can cover the class. That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. Wow. Because we were like, well, we don't know nothing about it. We know who won, but we don't know nothing else. So that's awesome.
Worked out good. All right.
You want to start at the top and work our way down?
Yeah, let's start at
you do the first one, I'll do the second one. We'll take turns.
So as y'all know, I just loaded up some shit that had been parked all winter. And brought it to the racetrack and started working on it. But it was good to get there. It was obviously a different weekend with the situation at hand. Still, this needs to be said again. Keep the Miller family and the XDA and the Maryland racetrack family in your thoughts and prayers. That's not easy, and it's going to take some time. And we miss Chris, and we hope we did him proud.
We expected it to be a little different. It was, but they still done a good job, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And they got the event in, and I think it was meant to be, I guess, is a way to put it. So, anyways, and also as Dustin already mentioned, keep Jay and AP and that whole family in your thoughts as well. And then everybody that's had incidents,
please keep Diane in your prayers.
Yeah, and all the racers that have had incidents and accidents over the last month or so, from Mike Thean to Kyle to
fucking Kyle.
Yeah, we love you, Kyle. But
I do have some cool stuff about Kyle I'm going to mention.
Ryan Hable, and there's quite a few. So keep everybody in your prayers and thoughts.
Big Dave.
Big Dave. Oh my gosh,
man, we needed him.
Cannot forget Big Dave.
Big Dave. Stephanie does a great job.
And
she is Stephanie like a mini you.
Awesome.
But
man,
we
miss you, Big Dave.
You. Yeah.
I gotta call you. I gotta call you soon. I'm gonna call you. Man,
I text him the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I do have something about Mr. Kyle. So anybody that's on Facebook probably knows that Kyle had a spill. Today, I've been talking to Kyle about leathers. He called Matt, and Matt's done measured him, and he was going to get some Banson leathers. Today, effing Kyle was in a raffle, and one of the options was a set of Banson leathers, and he won. I'm like,
you serious?
Yeah. He was like, what should I get? I'm like, the leathers. You need them. He goes, well, what about the Max CCU? I'm like,
oh my
you
Lord.
need the leathers, bro. Well, I got my old ones. I'm like, get the new ones. Like, you can wear your old ones so the new ones come in. Like, stop. So, yeah. And there was like a slider clutch option. I reckon he's getting the leathers. You know how Kyle is. He might change his mind.
I'm texting him right now.
Yeah, get the leathers. Don't text him now because he's going to be, you got your phone on silent probably, but he'll blow you up afterwards. But I'll go over Pro Street B while you're doing that. Well, maybe we should start.
I'm about done.
We should go by the days, not what class. It's the top of the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna do gamblers.
Okay, and then I'll do.
All right. So I had to text F and Kyle. All right, up. He said, "Ha ha, I am." Good.
I mean, that's like, ain't that the biggest blessing though, guys? Like you have an accident. That's the
man looking out.
His leathers were okay. They just cut them off of him, right? So
what do you mean they're okay? If they cut them off of him, they're junk.
Well, they were okay until they cut them off of him.
Yeah.
And anyway, the biggest blessing ever is you enter this raffle that's been going on for months. Like, it's been going on. It's so big. It was for months. And then 2 weeks after this accident, you get blessed with a win in a raffle and one of the options is free leathers. Like, yes, that's what I'm doing. Like that is
Yeah.
the no-brainer.
For sure. Okay, so back to the race results. We have the gamblers race. So, my homie, Mr. Squirrel, got my tech card, even though Darnell was not out the night before. So Dustin and I were in the gamblers race. Yeah, I sucked. That's all there is to it. I somehow made it to the third round. I will say this though. I'd promised our awesome University of Win members that I would be doing my best Chris Moore impression. So I got a camera, a mic, and look, y'all, I was recording the gamblers race on Friday night. Me racing. I'm saying me racing. And what I was doing is I was going over from the time I put my helmet on and got on my bike and plugged in, and I'm getting ready. I just told Kyle, hold on, I'm fucking recording, bro.
I told you.
Things. Give a Red Hill shout out to everyone at MIR and XDA for the help and checking up on me. I'll be at VMP. All right, that's all you get, Kyle. I'm turning my phone off now. But Kyle wants to get everybody a shout out. All right, back to gamblers. So I'm recording, right? And look, shout out to Chris. And it's a little different because he's not done it bracket racing. But look, y'all, trying to talk as you're going down the racetrack is a lot harder than you would think, especially if you're bracket racing. So, anyways, I'm recording from the time I'm on my bike, talking about my game plan, who I'm racing, what I think's going to happen, blah, blah, up until the moment I pre-stage, and then I kind of shut up. I said a few things going down track and then did some kind of recap and analysis in the shutdown and come back to the ticket booth. It turned out great. I'm kind of sorting through and getting those videos up for our school members. I'm just telling y'all, it's another reason to sign up. You are not going to find anyone that's recording their passes. Dustin ain't doing it. And trying to tell y'all what's going on. And it was a little distracting, but hey, it's for the school members. So I was doing that. That's not an excuse. I was sucking. I couldn't find the tree to save my life. I ended up going out in the third round to a school member, which was hilarious because I'm recording it. Mr. Boyd Matthias, he waxed me pretty good. I actually had my best light, I think, of the damn weekend. It was only like a 50. So shout out to Boyd.
51.
Yeah, 51. That's as good as I got. So fast forward. Let's see. Did the gamblers finish up that night or the next day?
I lost the next morning. That was the last round we run that night.
Okay. Well, we're gonna skip you. We're gonna go straight to the semis. Dustin lost next morning. They finished up.
Point out the fact that I didn't continue my curse. So I broke the curse the last race last year. I didn't lose first round or second round.
Yeah.
Or third round. I went to fourth round and I was racing effing Squirrel. And I called Squirrel's race the whole time, going down the damn racetrack, knew exactly what he was going to do. The problem was I knew it too well. And when he parked it at the finish line, I parked it better and he got back around me. Period.
Squirrel won, man. Squirrel
yes. won. Effing Squirrel. He's like, I grabbed nitrous. I'm like, man, get out of here. You didn't have the 5 feet we had. You didn't have time for all that. Jesus took the wheel. That's what happened.
Yeah, and Friday was the day, y'all. I mean, Big Dave got in a scooter accident. There was other accidents. It was a mess. But they did their best. So we had to finish up the gamblers Saturday morning into the day. So they raced round 4. Going to the semis, we had the Squirrel versus the OG Mr. Boo Brown. That was a badass race. Did you see that? It
was Squirrel's day, look, because I smoked him on the tree a little bit, and then Boo smoked him on the tree a little bit less. And the semis, Boo was 0-11 and Squirrel was 0-19.
That's a tight race. And Mr. Brown broke out by 7 thou. Squirrel parked at 1 above. So a hell of a race. I don't
think Squirrel parked it. He had 152. He's
probably he was going. He was trying to look back and gauge.
Yeah.
I was just using slang, man. Give me a
break. It's the wrong slang. We got to be politically correct. I know,
you're right. Yeah.
Second
right.
best.
Not on this one. Second best. All right. Other semifinal was the always beautiful, happy, smiling Robin Procopio racing our homie, Mr. Nick Noble, another school member, made it to semis. This was just the beginning of Nick's weekend. Nick turned it a little red and gave Robin the win, but she was on point 019, which brought us to the final. We had Robin and the Squirrel. Squirrel dialed in 883 and Robin dialed 8 flat, and it was all over at the hit.
She
Squirrel
smoked him.
missed. Squirrel missed. He said he missed. He was upset, but Squirrel got runner up. Robin was 008 to Squirrel's less than stellar light. And yeah, Robin took the
Well,
win.
I love Squirrel. He's my boy. But Robin sure is pretty in that winner circle picture
I
with that
know.
hard times parts and service gamblers winner payout of $4,000 sitting right
That's
there.
true. And we had
Just
Big
saying.
Dave make an appearance looking all like he just got out of a MMA fight.
Yeah,
That's
he looked
badass.
pretty rough. Oh,
Still
man.
smiling though. Still
Yeah.
smiling.
He come by and see me on the golf cart. I'm like, how are you riding that thing with broke ribs and all this stuff?
Yeah.
But man.
All right. So we got to keep this thing rolling because this will be 3 hours by the time it's done. Fast forward, bracket bash, voodoo bracket bash on Saturday. Our boy, Nick Noble, this man is confident. And look, we're not going to take credit. Nick was a good racer before he joined up, but man, we just
stuck him in the pencil sharpener,
Yeah,
sharpened
man.
him up a little.
And I think he would say the same. He's given us a 5-star review, of course. Man, Nick is dialed. Y'all got to watch out for Nick. He's bringing his A game and he's confident. That's key. That's key. So anyways, kind of already spoiled the results, but we get down to the final and
Well, first of all, we had our two school members racing each other first round, and then F and Kyle pulled the crash.
Yeah, that was first round. Yeah, that was a big letdown. Kyle and Nick racing, they got all amped up. So yeah, anyways, not going to do a full recap. Look, I watched Nick because I suck so bad I was out. Don't even need to talk about that. So I'm watching Nick, and I watched probably 4 of his passes, and man, he was dialed. He was dialed. I knew he was dialed. I didn't have to see nothing. Me and Dustin have a pretty good eye when we're just watching, and I knew he was on one. So Nick's just
looking at his
ripping off-
lights. He had one round that he didn't have a great light. The rest of them were money. Every one of them was good.
Yeah, a lot of teens, some double O's. He was on point. So in the final, it was Mr. Nick Noble versus Barry Purnell. And I mean, Barry's an OG, of course. Helps out Ricky in his race program.
That's who I lost to in the bracket bash.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
He smoked me.
Oh, okay.
Really hard. I mean, I treat him, but then I give it back or something. No, I broke out. It was a double breakout again. I broke out 6 thou. He broke out 2 thou.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I had 143 mile an hour, so I was trying to slow her down. Just not enough.
Yeah, so it was Nick and Barry. Nick was 027 at the rip. Barry was a little bit behind 051. Another double breakout. Nick was 8 thou under, and then Barry brought it through 4 or 500. So Nick was off to like I said, semifinals and gamblers that morning. Then followed it up by winning the bracket bash. It was a good day, good weekend for Nick. Then let's see. I guess we go to the newly formatted Top Sportsman. You want to hit that one?
I mean, I can.
Oh gosh. Yeah, this is, I forgot.
This is so Top Sportsman now is on a Saturday, and it was a little crazy. We're not used to it, trying to run everything on a Saturday. And
look,
to make it quick, we shot all the way down through the semis. I'll go over the semis real quick. So it was Jeff Santine and Gary Klontz. Jeff was 050, Klontz was 0.16. Easy victory for the ET Gangster right there. And I raced my buddy Norman Teal. Norman missed a tree. I was 05. It's funny that me and Jeff both were 05 in the semis, and I'll get to the rest here in a minute. I beat Norman. He ran off his dial, give me a little bit of room to squeeze in there. And then we had to race the final Sunday morning. So Top Sportsman was supposed to be done on Saturday, but we still had to finish it on Sunday. Just didn't want to let go of Sunday, I guess. And this race was tough because Saturday night, of course, I'm watching the weather, and I think the DA at the moment was like 300 feet at the end of the night. And then the next morning,
watching it.
the next morning we get up and it's like
we debated on what to dial.
-300 or 400 feet. Now the night before,
I think it was 500 or 600.
The night before I was 788 back, and I told Ben, I'm like, look, I'm going to put a 5 on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes like a 80, 81, if not more, better. I just couldn't get myself to physically dial it. And I feel like Jeff was in the same boat
Oh
because
yeah, for sure.
Jeff dialed 820 the night before and he had 820 on his. So I was dialed 785. Jeff was dialed 820. We leave, and Ben can vouch for this. When I left, I shook my head because I was really wanting to be after the tree, and I knew I wasn't after it as good as I wanted to be when I left.
Meanwhile, I was
We
like, give me that light. Give me that light. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, we were both 026. I'm not saying like
Dead
we were.
even.
I wanted to be double O. I was really trying to get after it, and I missed it. And we were dead even off the start line. And immediately, I'm like, oh dear, the bike was spicy. Like it was like a high 4 second, 8th mile pass. I done knew where I was going. But then I was like, hey, I'm going to catch him. I'm going to make it close. So I caught him. I backed into him, took 005 stripe to break out 005 more than he did. So the only way I was going to win that race was to not cross the finish line first, realistically. And the crazy part of it is I just noticed was Jeff was 052 in the semis. I was 057. We come back the next morning and we're both 026, like matching lights. That's pretty cool, you know. And Jeff's a great racer, great friend of mine and Ben's, good dude. Always trying to be funny, you know, in his own little way. I mean, there's usually like a chicken wing or something hanging from a necklace or something. And he has a provocative shirt that usually gets blurred out of the pictures, and just a good time. You know, Jeff's a good person, good friend.
Jeff does what we all should do, and he has fun at the racetrack. Win or
Yes.
lose. I mean, look, Dustin and I'll straight up tell y'all, sometimes sometimes you can't get around us. We try to still have fun even after we get our ass kicked, but sometimes you gotta give us a breathing room. I've never seen Jeff upset, to be honest.
Not me. I mean, I'll tell you what I did wrong, but I've lost so many different ways that there's no
Yeah,
surprises
but every
anymore.
once in a while it gets us. I just have never seen the ET gangster upset. That's cool.
No, I mean, he might go inside his trailer and beat the walls and he comes out smiling. Who knows? You know
Well,
what I mean?
he's got OE, so I mean, that solves all the problems.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to drink this now.
Yep.
But he definitely, you know, it was a great race. And we met in the staging lanes for Pro ET shortly after that. He was like, can you believe we had the same lights? I'm like, no. Like, he goes, we always have almost the same lights. I'm like, I don't know why, but we do. Right. You're right. And I didn't want to be 026. I wanted to be better than that. And it was just fate, you know, and I
It was a hell
wouldn't
of a good
change.
race. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
if you come to me and said,
Yeah.
hey, can you sign up to be 02 and take 005 the rest of the day? I'd be like, where do I sign? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I feel like you'd win 95% of the races at that. And, but when you're sitting beside a bad dude, you got to make sure that you are doing your job as well, you know?
Yep.
And, we both give it what we had, and it just, in my end, would just come up short. But it, you know, as always, it's great. It's great racing, Jeff. Jeff's a super nice guy, very, you know, very humble, unlike me. And that was a joke. And
But Jeff is humble.
oh yeah, that part wasn't a joke. The not me part.
Yeah.
But it's you know, he's just a good dude. Like I would
Well,
like to race Jeff every round because all it does is just push you to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
for sure. You know, you're getting a good race there. And look, we're gonna jump right into Pro ET, and I'm gonna tell you the winners' reaction times through the day. 015 round 1. Okay. Then we go up to round 2, and the winner was, I think, had their worst light 044, which would have still been my best light for the weekend. Then you go
you're
to
saying
round
the winners lights?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah. 044. And then in round 3, 046, still better than my best light. Then started tightening up a little bit, squeezed her down. Round 4, we got an 013 bulb. Round 5, we go 038. Semifinals, we have Wesley Jones racing Nick Noble. Nick, look, we've been talking about Nick. Semifinals in the Gamblers, won the bracket bash. Semifinals in Pro AT. Our dude was on a tear. And look, at this point, I'm just going to. Sorry, Nick. We're going to take some credit. We're going to take some credit.
Yeah, that
look at our
Hayabusa
man
with that damn ride back hydraulic clutch, he's feeling it, man. Like that thing he's loving it. That new build he done over the winter.
Right there. Y'all need to join. Join the school. Take Nick's advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our man made it semifinals. Then we had another friend of ours, Montrell Johnson, racing the ET Gangster. This was set up to be a tight one. Montrell 003 at the hit and just couldn't quite run the number. He went a 39 on a 32. excuse me, Jeff, because now y'all know I was talking about Jeff. He's 029. This hit runs dead 8, which sets up Jeff and Wes Jones
Off
in
the
the final.
gas. He was 146 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So he's racing, you know.
Yep. And in
like
the
it.
finals, 022. So our man was on fire. The rare double
And
up.
he started the day out with 0-2 and ended it with 0-2.
Yep. The
It's pretty cool.
rare double up. Pro ET.
Well,
top
his double
sportsman.
was a little different. His double, in my opinion, was harder than the other ones.
Oh,
like when you
that's
win Pro
true.
ET last year, when you won Top Sportsman, you fell over to a later round of Pro ET.
That's
Jeff
right.
just done it from the beginning of Top Sportsman, from
7
the beginning
rounds.
of Pro ET. There's only one other person I know who's done that.
Who? You?
See, back when we could double Pro ET.
Excuse me. Okay, yeah. All right, that made. All right.
Back when we could double Pro ET, I raced myself in the final.
Okay,
my
yeah.
Top Sportsman bike, won Top Sportsman, and then come over to no, I won Top Sportsman, and then I was in Pro ET on the other one.
That's
and I
what I
won
was gonna
that
say.
one.
You would have
Yeah,
had
yeah,
to do it that
yeah.
way. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's harder to do that now. So
More
shout
rounds.
out.
You got to win more
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah. So we got through Pro ET. Dustin, you go ahead and take us to the next class. I gotta get some more water. I'm out of water.
Okay, get you some
Be right
water.
back.
Get you some water. We're gonna go to 560. Y'all know I love me some 560, and I'm going to run through it quick. I'm going to go to the semis, and I just want to mention Rico Brown is in the semis, and Rico, thankfully, he's okay. He crashed a 460 bike this weekend at XDA, or that weekend at XDA, and Rico crashes. It seems like his thing to do is win 560 afterwards. Last time he had an accident spill in 560, he won 560 later that day. Rico was racing me in the semis. Rico was 021. I was 042. 560 index. He went dead on with a 3. I went at 559 with a 4 out of it, trying to get rid of it because I thought we were breaking out, and I was breaking out, and I did break out. There was a bye to the final, and it was Bryce Cornish Jr. He just broke the beams. And then in the final, Rico raced Bryce. Bryce went 014 red and went a 557. Rico was 050 and went a 548 out the back door. So we were both definitely breaking out when we raced. He just parked it dead on. But that was awesome. I was in the winner's circle with him, and it was good to see Rico do well after having a spill. That's like his thing, I guess.
Rico,
now he's gonna
don't do it.
What?
Rico has now crashed twice.
Where have you been? I was just telling him all
twice.
this.
I thought that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
I went over the.
Oh,
I
you
went
went over
over it
that at
from
the
the
beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah.
just saying, Rico. I know you probably never will listen to this, but don't.
Yeah. He's got a trend going. Drop her down on Saturday and drop her down and then win on Sunday. But either way, he done a great job. He put the light on me, got it done. Fortunately for me, that was my worst light of the day. So he put it on me when he needed to. And realistically, I think that's all the sportsman classes.
Nah, not quite. I'm gonna hit 460 for us.
Oh well, they're called pros at the XDA, but
pro sportsman.
Yeah,
it's a bracket class. It's an index class.
Yeah, 460.
Look, y'all. If y'all don't know by this time, 460 is a Shark Tank, and I experienced it a little bit last year. There was 3 people that went 460 with a 0 qualifying. Then you had 460 with a 1, 460 with 2, 460 with 3, 460 with a 4. I mean, that's insane. Anyways, it's a Shark Tank.
Can I mention something real quick that I did forget?
Yeah.
In 560, number 1 qualifier all the way down to number.
Oh yeah, that was the class too.
10th qualifier was 560s. 11th was a 561 with a O. Like there was 2 560 dead zeros, 560 with a 2, 560 with a 2, 560 with a 4, 560 with a 5, 560 with a 5, 560 with a 7, 560 with a 8, 560 with a 9. Like they were hitting every number, For some
That's
reason, somebody
actually
didn't go up 560 with a 30, but
well, that's what I was thinking when I was pulling these up. I had 560 in my mind because I thought it was like about 10 people that went dead.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying when I seen it in
Shout out to
460.
Jason Smith too. He was running 560 on a new build that he got, the bike he bought from Tom Grooms that you guys heard me and Ben talk about. Tom's
Oh,
on
okay.
sale. And
Red Rocket.
the Red Rocket went 560 every single pass. He never did not run 560. It was
Badass.
560 every single pass. And the only reason he lost is he just, didn't have the tree figured out. You know what I mean? Like he went all the way to the quarterfinals. He got down to 6 bikes or 5 bikes. One of us had a bye. I did. But he went dead 60 every single round.
Yep.
It's nuts.
Oh man.
Okay, back to 460. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
You
That
mentioned the
was worth
qualifying. It
pointing
reminded
out.
me. I'm like, oh God, yeah, they were all dead on. So
Well, and that's why I was confused because I thought I remembered 560, but I got confused, which there was no less than 7 people dead, on 460 in this class, but still, I was thinking of
yeah,
that. All right, we're gonna get down to it. We get down to the semis, and we have some badasses. We have Brad Gleason, who won the first Elite 460 race, I think a week or two before. So
I think
he's
he was
been on
number
a
one
roll.
qualifier, wasn't
Yes.
he?
Yep, he
Yeah.
was. He was number 1 qualifier. Brad has some
Bike
steam
is for
rolling early
sale,
season.
by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it still now?
I reckon. Yeah.
So Brad had to race the OG, Mr. Ronald Procopio. So Ronnie Procopio and Brad, it's going to be a barn burner. Brad was getting after it. He ends up being 005 red. Ronnie is 007, runs dead 6.
The
So
champ
Ronnie,
laid it down right there.
yeah, he laid down 13 total. It was going to be tough, and Brad knew it was. So he was ready. In the bye for that round, Mac McAdams. So talk about a final round. You have Ronnie Procopio and Mac McAdams. They've been doing this for a while, y'all. And
Yeah.
man, it was, I know it was super cool because Derek, who is Mac's right-hand man, he battled some health issues the last probably 6 months, give or take.
Yeah.
And seems to be on the up and up. So keep Derek in your thoughts. But it was super sentimental and emotional for that whole team. And it was just, it's one of those good feel goods. Max 027, Ronnie's 026, and Mac drops it dead 6, and I guess
It was
Ronnie
the
was the
19th
61
versus 4 qualifier. Ronnie was
Yeah.
number 3. No, 4 qualifier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mac and his team, they parked it in winner's circle. Big win for them. Really cool to see that happen. And some OGs who've been doing it forever. So that was cool to see. And I think that does pretty much wrap up any index sportsman. So should we go to Grudge?
Yeah. I mean,
We got a shout out the Grudge.
all motor bulls.
Oh man,
y'all already
y'all
know.
Do
You
we
already
even
know.
have to?
Do we even have to tell you?
Should they might have to
I mean,
outlaw the bad bitch.
The bad bitch got it done with David Fondon on it again.
Poppy and the Shaker Racing, Kevin Nadeau. Look, this is a tough ass combo to beat.
Yeah.
Look,
The DME
their winner's
Bulls,
circle photo had their championship trophy in it too. Just to let y'all know, they're starting the season off right.
The DMV Bulls was Desmond Spalding over Cody Lowe, which is 2 big names in the DME Bulls.
Yep.
I like the name of Desmond's bike, NWA. I'm a huge Trailer Compton.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I'm looking at that bike now. That's badass. It's
Gen 3.
Yeah, Gen 3.
Super nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
Monster Bulls was Brandon Tyree, which is big name on Man-Made or Made Man, and racing Ken Alston on Leatherface, and Brandon got it done.
Yep. And then moving on to Nitrous Bulls. We had dude, look at this. I mean, I guess let's see. It was a 3-round race, but in the semis, we had Gage Herrera versus Jeremy Teasley. Then we had Antonio Patton versus Malcolm Phillips. This is badass, y'all. I hate that I missed that. I don't know what the hell. I was probably
who knows what we were doing?
I really don't know. I didn't see any garage. I know I was working on bikes. So then in the final, we had Antonio Patton and Gage Herrera. So we had Big Bumpy versus Big Dirty. And
A lot of double
Antonio,
big up in there.
yeah. Yeah. So the Big Dirty came out on top. Antonio got that done in Nitrous Bulls. So congratulations to them and their
I
team.
mean, I was impressed to see 7 motorcycles in the boosted bulls. I don't think we've ever had 7, have we? Ever?
No, because I've looked at that class quite a bit.
Yeah,
Well, I won't
I
really
do got
say
to
why, but
mention.
I've looked at it
I
quite a
do got to
bit.
mention real before we go to the end is Big Country.
Oh yeah.
He had to put old Chris in his place. And he put Milani out first round. I'm just saying. Like now,
Look,
I will say this: the track and the weather
you gotta
was
tune it.
tricky.
You gotta
Yeah, it was
tune it.
tricky. And
Uh,
sometimes you can be. I don't want to say the underdog, but the big dog could bark the tire, and the underdog could get around you if you ain't careful. So, Big Country got it done, and I've
brother
been
on brother
watching
crime
Chris's.
right there.
I've been watching Chris's YouTube videos, and Big Country, he be talking a little trash, so I was gonna put that in there for him.
Look, I was shout out to Big Country because he was giving me a little shit. I'm not going to get into details, but I was working on something for him and Chris, helping him out with some stuff, some business stuff, and basically helped him out with this deal. Anyways, I took care of Chris's, and then I guess I got busy and forgot to take care of Country. So he was giving me some shit. Oh, I guess I'm not famous enough. Why do I gotta get pushed on the back burner and all? So I got to hang out with them a little bit at NHRA this past weekend. I got Country straight. He squared away, got his deal secured. So shout out to Big Country, man. We got
in
nothing but
the
love. I
in
wasn't
the
trying to be.
semis, aka round 2,
Yep.
Big Country got a little bit ready whipped. He got twisted up by Frankie, and then Derek Sobich and George Stanley raced each other. In the final, it was Frankie and Derek Sobich, and then Ready Whip come out on top.
Yep.
Uh,
DME
uh,
boys.
I mean, I've watched a video today. I'm a lot of spinning in those rounds.
It was tricky that at XDA. And a lot
Yeah,
of it was because it was just cold, to be honest.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, you lost because of a spin,
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, did we done the nitrous bulls already?
Yep, I
Yeah,
did
we done the
nitrous
nitrous
bulls.
bulls. Then we done the boosted bulls.
We were going
So
so super
super
stock.
stock.
Look, and
Well, the
I gotta give
goats back
y'all,
in town.
yeah, for sure. Just also, by the way, if y'all don't know, Dustin and I and Red Hill Racing, we did this last year. We collaborate with Kaylee and Racing the Lens, and Miss Kaylee is recording Final 16 and all top sportsman bracket and index classes and posting them up on her YouTube page as well as Red Hill. So if you haven't, go subscribe. There's coverage there. And then also kind of over the weekend and after the weekend, Dustin, we saw some posts, where's some of the coverage? First off, look, if there's not a live feed, you better get your ass there, is all I'm gonna say. But we're doing our best to get some coverage. So, I raced so piss poor. I was up in the stand Sunday afternoon trying to get some live action and doing some recording. So we tried to get as much as we could. I know I got a couple rounds of Real Street and Pro Street and even squeaked in some super stock. So look, if y'all want to donate, send us some donations. We might be able to work out some more coverage, but hey, you got to take what you get. I mean, so we're trying hard out here. So follow Racing the Lens, subscribe to Kaylee's YouTube and also Red Hill Racing, because we're going to get some videos up there here soon. Kaylee said they're almost done. Anyways, back to Super Sock. So my boy Sean Henson, my homie, was pitted with me all weekend, and he was running well. In fact, I'm pretty sure he had a high mile an hour for the weekend. Almost positive. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. I know, yeah, 162, and I think he even went 163 in elimination. So, anyways, I was watching Sean. Sean won first round. Gotta, give shout outs to her boy. Sean ended up bowing out in a tight one in round 2. But look, Dustin already said it. The GOAT came back. The GOAT came to play. Mr. Teasley was on a white 14, and him and them 14s go to bed, go together like PB and J. And
No doubt.
man, I saw him qualifying, and I was like, y'all gonna have a weekend on your hands, boys.
And they did.
They did. But shout out to Darian Payne, Nanu. He actually was number one qualifier. He went at 876 with a 9. But I know Jeremy did he hold on, let me see first. Maybe it was first round. Okay, I caught first round, so I missed the qualifying. Teasley went 879 in first round. That's what got my attention. I didn't realize Nanu had qualified so well. So Nanu put a 10th on the field. He was 876. JT was actually second with an 886. Jimmy Leach had an 888. And then the big man, our homie, Mike Davis, another Ohio boy, he was fourth qualifier with 889.
Number 2.
Number
I always
two?
call him number
Oh,
2.
number
It's
2.
number 2s.
Oh, gosh.
He's
so
gonna get mad.
Yeah. And man, you know what? I didn't hardly see them other weekend. That was weird.
Yeah. Well,
We'll go straight to the semis. We no surprise, we saw Mr. Teasley. He was able to take out Jimmy Leach in the semis, 880 to an 890. And then Caleb Holt, he had Mr. IM had Mike Davis. Hell of a race here, man. Did you see this? Caleb was 132 on the tree and went at 896.
Whole shot.
Mike, yeah, whole shot victory because Mike was 158. So basically, Caleb had 200s in the bag, and Mike outran him. He went at 895, but it wasn't enough. He lost by 100th, which set up the Teasley versus Holt. Which, gosh, how many times have they probably grudge raced?
Oh, a lot.
A lot, man. A lot. I don't know what exactly happened to Caleb, but something happened. Must have wheelied or missed a gear or something. Because y'all need to keep in mind, y'all want a street bike class. This is it. Y'all talk about riding. If you want to be a riding class,
yeah,
this is
the one for you.
It ain't street ET.
Rider.
It ain't street ET. I'm just telling y'all, it ain't street ET. Super stock is stock wheelbase, basically off the showroom bikes. They're allowed to lower them a little bit, put an exhaust on it, race fuel and tune. That's it, y'all. That's it. So anyways, JT came back, no surprise, won super stock, and that was that. But hey, that's an exciting class. Y'all need to keep an eye on that class when you're out at events or just watching. All right, Pro Extreme.
Had 9 of them.
Yeah, that's a good field.
And when we say that XDA, when you're a champion, you're a world champion, this is the perfect time to give you the example of that. When someone that wins this class is from the UK.
That's right. Dale Leaks. And man, I'm a fan. I've been following him, friends with him on Facebook for a while. And he's look, I'm just gonna say he's fucking hilarious. He posts hilarious shit all the time. Talked to him a few times a little bit. But anyways, Dale Leaks raced Rob Garcia in the finals, and he got his first big win over the, what do you call it, over the pond? Is that what they say? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't give me nothing geography. I'll fail that every time.
I don't know. But Dale, all the way from England, won Pro Extreme. It was pretty cool to see that. Had a big old winner circle photo. He flies in for these events, y'all. So that was cool. Let's see. You get the next one, man. I'm tired. I need to get
into
Zimbabwe or something.
I was letting you go after it here. You was firing through it.
Well, hold on. I will. I'm gonna
go to Real Street.
I'm gonna go to Pro Street B real quick.
Let's just do that next. We'll do Pro Street A last. So let me do Real Street real quick.
All right.
Number 1 qualifier, Ricky Gatz, 744, 196. Big thing that happened over the weekend. He went over 200 mile an hour. Like, he didn't back it up. So it dwindled away in the atmosphere, and it's gone. And it might come back the next race, which I doubt it because the weather ain't going to be as good. But we all seen it. We all heard it.
201.79. And look, I was watching that pass, and we're not getting into the details of it, but there's been some over 200 that were questionable. The GOAT,
they wheeled across the finish line.
Yeah, the GOAT will tell you back when him and Roger were racing and JT was all of 62 inches long, that bike would wheelie in 6th gear. Okay. So, I mean, JT has said it in the past, he didn't think that was a real legitimate time.
Don't get too excited because first round, the world's worst speller, the cowboy, Jason Inotti, smacked Ricky in the face, put him on the trailer first round.
Did you say the world's worst speller?
Yeah, yeah. If you ever read a sentence from him on Facebook, you're going to have to get the book out, try to figure it out because it's right.
Oh
I give him
man.
shit about it all the time,
Okay.
and
Well, better
I
you
can
than me.
talk
I don't
shit
really
because
know
we're
him.
friends. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But he did go on Ricky. He put a 758 on him, and Ricky Willied went a 74. I'm sure things happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fast forward to the semis, you got a whole lot of Almoda, Fondon, Almoda, Jason, Almoda. Somehow, some way, Super Dave on probably the shortest spike in the class with the hair dryer on it. David took him out. Fondon loaded him up, put him on the trailer. 055 went a 750. Obviously, Super Dave had issues, only went 127 mile an hour, so he shut her down. In the final,
Hold on.
you
Can we
know,
take one step back though? I think it's worth noting.
you're going to
Round two.
mention Fondon.
Well, no, well, we'll get to Poppy in a second, but
I mean, I know what you're going to mention about round two. No,
no. Oh no.
oh,
Round two, Super Dave and Cortland. Man, y'all talking about a drag race. Cortland on the all motor G-Force Racing 1K. He hits the tree 091, so definitely not the light he was looking for because Cortland's usually on top of it. Usually low O's.
yeah.
Anyways, trees Super Dave by about 200. Super Dave's 116. Super Dave has to run a 749 to beat out Cortland's 752. So, I'm trying to do the math here. Basically, it was a 1/100th margin of victory. And
Ish.
ish, and Super Dave's coming 20 miles an hour. So I'm envisioning this. And you know what we need to do? We need to run this in a TSS that is free to all school members. Anyways, this had to have been like Cortland ahead at the mile-per-hour cone, and boom, Super Dave nipped him at the line. That's the only way that happened. You know,
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
a cool race.
some other thing that happened in round two was David Fondon put the okey doke on Dre Taylor.
Yeah. So,
All motorbikes can have a two step. They got throwaway clutches, and he put that bitch right in there on the two step, and Dre timed out. Simple as
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He got on him and caught him slipping and pulled the okey doke. That was straight hustler stuff. And I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't
That's
really
racing.
talk to either of them, but I thought I'd seen maybe Dre say something where he just, he accepted it, and he admits he was slipping. And look, when you're riding these power adder bikes with a true hand clutch with a ton of pressure, your focus is all there. And as Dustin said, you're all motor. You just throw her on the two step and let the clutch fly as soon as
I'll
lights come
get
on.
I'll get to the all motor stuff here in just a minute once we finish up
So
this final.
yeah, so yeah, Dre, I'm sure basically Poppy was pre-staged, and as soon as Dre pre-stage, I know exactly what happened. He was looking down, getting his stuff situated, bringing his RPM up. Poppy's already in. Didn't even probably realize he had staged, and unfortunately Dre timed out. So, hey, I'm sure
And I
that won't happen
mean,
again.
yeah, and Poppy wasn't prepared either because he had a .34 light because he was sitting there idling on the two step yet because Dre hadn't staged.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I
he
mean?
probably didn't realize
So
that he was, he
doing that.
might
He
not
probably didn't even
even,
know he
yeah,
did that.
yeah, he probably wasn't even being intentional about it,
He thought
actually.
he was ready and stuck it in there, and then he wasn't ready.
Yep. So go ahead,
And
get to
the
the final.
final, Fondon and the Cowboy. Um, Fondon laid a bulb on him and an ET on him. Nobody was going to save him. Poppy was 022 to his .15
Pappy,
and went
Pappy, oh
Poppy,
Pappy,
yeah, 746 to a 753. Now,
that's flying.
the Real Street is a parity class, and I know it's going to be a work in progress to the end of time. But when it's weather like this in the spring and the fall, and they can go out there and bang out 022 lights, no problem, the power header guys are screwed. Simple as that. Now, in the summertime, it might tighten it up some, but I still think they have advantage. If you want my honest opinion, an all motorbike has, if you're a light rider, has the hugest advantage in the class. You don't have to worry
Hugest.
about riding the bike. You can smash the tree. And at this point, they're just as fast as the nitrous and turbo stuff and pro charge stuff because right there, 746 at 179. Like they're just as quick. Let me rephrase that, because the number one qualifier went at 44, which was Ricky. So you're talking 200s. Well, they're going to have 200s on the tree every lap. No problem. I think they have 5 or 6 or 7 or 800s in their pocket on the tree. Just my opinion, unless you get a hold of somebody that knows what's up, like Ricky, or, Spencer can cut good lights if he needs to sometimes. And, it goes on and on. But there's been a lot of discussions about parity, and figured I'd just point that out, that if you're wanting to build a real street bike and you're little, all motors where it's at. Just saying.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, like you said, the different times of the
not
year.
the spring and the fall, it's not. But
No.
in the summer, I'm curious
Yeah.
to see what it's like at the Bike Fest,
We'll see.
because I still feel like that these all motor guys are going to run 50s, and if they do, they probably need to be choked up some with some wheelbase.
We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
I just realized this is worth mentioning. I didn't realize this. Jason Ionati qualified dead last with a 1070.
Yeah, bike wouldn't shift.
Yeah, but then to come out first round racing the prior year champion, Ricky Gadsden, who just went 201
They
and
fixed
run
it.
758. I know, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't realize he didn't qualify or no better than a
That was the true definition
Gixxer
of
600 super stock bike.
poor Ricky going, oh, this will be an easy round, and then got smacked around. What happened on that deal?
Yeah, that's
hey, we've all been there, Ricky. Usually, if I'm number one qualifier, I lose first round on anything. So
yeah.
I don't usually strive to be number one qualifier, because I know it's bad juju for me.
So shout out there, because that's wow, to make it to the final in his first race. Kudos to Jason. And
I mean, he's
course,
only been racing motorcycles for 2 years.
Hey,
Another reason why I think all motor real streets where it's at, if you want to run to the class. Just saying.
There you go. So that's Real Street.
Are you going to go to your Pro Street B now?
Yeah, I will, because look, there's a lot of Pro Street bikes on property at XDA.
I was very impressed to see 7 bikes in B, Pro Street B.
Yeah. So what that means is 23 bikes tried to make the big field. So yeah, it was in the past, sometimes you see, oh, well, so-and-so won Pro Street B, and there might only been 1 or 2 bikes. This was 7 bikes, so you had to win 3 rounds. And I mean, in the main field, you had to win 4. So anyways, I was able to capture this on camera because, I sucked and was just filming. But we had Mr. James Herbert, who has just steadily been improving year over year. And I got to talk with James actually at NHRA this past weekend. And my buddy Skillet, Kavos, Mr. Mike Kovacevic. They made it to the final, a Pro Street B. I know they both wanted to be in the A field, but dude, they had a hell of a race. James was 059 on the tree. Kavos was 083. So Herbert had a 200th advantage there and almost got it done. James went a 691 with a 6, and Kavos went a 688 with a 6. So another margin of victory by
it was
24
24 thou difference on the tree.
Yep.
And then that put
should have been 1400s.
Yep. 014.
Yep. And this was also a cool race because Kavos was coming hard, same as that Real Street Pass we talked about, 212 through the traps, and Herbert was 196. So I know they were both excited just because it was a hell of a good race, and they got to get out there and put on a show. And I was up there,
212. Yeah. He was railing down.
That's what I'm saying. Passed him in the beams.
Yeah,
in the mile per hour box. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, bring us home.
Last but not least, Pro Street, the quickest, fastest class at the XDA. With the goat,
Fabian.
with the goat involved. We had 23 total, which is crazy. Pro Street bikes. We're just going to go straight to the semis. We could probably backtrack if we need to, but
I'm stretching.
Rodney was racing Justin Shaker, which Justin is the only man in Pro Street that the bike literally is scared to death of the rider. Period. Like, the bike has the fear of God.
He manhandles that.
Yes,
if y'all have never seen Shaker,
he strong holds that damn bike he forces it down the racetrack.
Dude, the
He don't-
burnout is the coolest part. Shaker
Yeah.
goes to do his burnout, and literally when he like lunges forward, holding the front
Pops the
brake
back tire
and
off the ground.
throws his clutch lever, he is so. I mean, like, look,
He's a
I
tree
would.
trimmer, damn it. He
I
probably
know
throws stumps
he's a
all day.
lumberjack, bro. But like, and
Yeah.
if y'all know Shaker, he's a big man. I would not mess with him. This man is so violent doing a burnout. The back wheel, he just jerks the back wheel off the ground. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. And like every time or consistently does it. Anyways, carry on. Shout out to Shaker.
Well, he had a bad pass. Rodney went a 644 with the 09 light. He did have a 06 light against Rodney, but it must have spun something.
Yeah, probably spun.
95 mile an hour at the finish line. The second pair in the semis was teammates Mark Rendeloop and Jason Dunnigan. I watched this on a video, and realistically, they both spun. Jason's just wasn't recoverable, and Mark spun into Willie. It willied after it spun. So,
and I think I got that on film too.
Yeah, it was a big, long, probably 8th mile to 800-foot wheelie job down there on the big end and the second half.
Shout
he did
out
go
to
663.
Mark for riding that bad boy out and doing a good job keeping it under control. It was a handful.
He was 062 on the tree. Jason treated him. He was 027. Shout out to Jason doing his thing on the tree. He's usually pretty good at that. But in the final, Mark wasn't too happy with his reaction time. In the final, Mark was 010 to Rodney's 059. Really a good race theoretically. Rodney went a 643. Which is 100th, 11 thousandths faster than his pass before, which is impressive. Yeah. And Mark went a 655. Rodney had a 226 mile an hour, and Mark had 225. So they were both cooking and booking out the back door. I think Jason over the weekend, didn't he go like 230 something? 233 is what Jason went, which I think was the high mile an hour. Rodney went 232. Saying that, we all know Jason's bigger than Rodney is. So, like, weight-wise. So, that's impressive. Shout out to the big boy. That's getting her done.
Yep.
I think that is XDA in a nutshell.
Yep.
It was a big nut. It was like a big
it was a
coconut.
Crazy weekend. It was a crazy weekend. And like you said, we had Mark continuing kind of pretty much where he left off with his big World Cup win and starting off with the final against the Pro Street GOAT, and Rodney was able to get it done. I had to shout out my homies though. You know this.
Eric and them.
Eric Paquette at DAS Performance, DAS Boost. Man, he worked his ass off over the winter on his pro charged Hayabusa, and he found some power. He found some good power. So
they had a fast hot rod.
Yeah, Tony Fisher was riding it. They qualified. They were still getting a handle on it in qualifying, but I think
testing. They tested the race.
Yeah, so. Well, they're up in
snowing there still.
Yeah, so like they don't get out early and test.
In Boston.
Yeah, in Boston. You said it better than me, I think.
Boston.
Anyways, they were still finding the tune-up even throughout qualifying, but they qualified 7th. And I think prior to this year, don't quote me, but I think I'm pretty close. I think the fastest Eric and them had ever had that bike was like 222, and he knew he needed to find some power and get things rolling and get up there around 230. So they qualified 7th, win a modest for them 659, but at 227, so they were finding some speed. Then I thought it was on, y'all. I thought it was going to be the weekend. First round, Tony Fisher raced Jamie Lopes, and Tony went 647 at 229. We were all pumped. That was exciting because that mile per hour is something they've been looking for. Unfortunately, I don't even remember what it was. Something happened. I don't know if it spun or whatever, but they lost to Mr. Dunnigan in the second round. But look, y'all need to watch out for my homies. That Pro Charger is
DAS Boost.
Yeah, don't sleep on it. But yeah, that was XDA in a nutshell. Keep everybody in your thoughts, and everybody's looking forward to round 2.
Well, moving on to NHRA, I do want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Parpippy Willen, because I have everything pulled up right in front of me, easy to read it to you and to recap this deal. And I guess since he is Tim Haley's right-hand man, shout out to Eat My Ink, because this is where I'm getting the info from because I'm not digging through my phone for all my posts. It makes it easy. Um, man, so we've been without NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle since Gainesville. There has been a shit ton of drama between that race and this race. Lord have mercy. Unnecessary drama. Drama that shouldn't even be there. Drama that wasn't drama. There was drama that shouldn't have even been near your mama type of drama. But when all the BS settled and all the dust settled on the ground, the end result, in my opinion, is MSR found some front half ET and Vance and Hines had to tune a new fuel. That's what I caught. That's what I learned. That's what I see. That's probably what I know. And I'll go over the qualifiers real quick. I'm not going to go over them all. I'm going to give you the top 5 each session. Session 1, Matt Smith. Matt went a 668 at 201, session 1. Pizza John Hall. He went a 672 at 202. Hector Arana Jr., 674 at 201. L.E. Tonglet on the rental bike, 679, 201. I know you're asking, you're wondering, what about Gage? Well, TPS wire broke. Didn't make Q1. Didn't even get out of the burnout. Go up for Q2. Angie Smith was the fastest, 671 with an 8. Richard Gadsden, Angie was not the fastest. Gage went 669 with a 6. Angie went 671 with an 8. LE went 670 with a 3. And the next one would be Richard Gadsden with a 672 with a 9. That's Q2. And then the 5th one would be 673 with a 6, which was Hector Arana. No, it wasn't. It was John Hall, 675. And we are going to go to some eliminations because Q4, well, I guess we'll go over Q3 and 4. Q3, Gage went a 670 with a 30. And the next, they're not in order, they're just going by runs. So the next one would be LE with a 675 with a 5. Richard, 675 with a 7. Matt Smith, a 676 with a 4. Q4, this is when the norm comes back to norm. Gage, 667 with a 1 at 202. Matt was the next quickest with a 671 with a 1 at 201. And the next quickest was Richard in that session. The next quickest in that session was Richard, 673. And then John Hall, 674. There's a lot of good information here, but we're not going to get into all that because I have ET, like each round, who was racing and all this stuff. So we're going to go straight to E2, which is the 2 last quads. And
can I say something though?
Yeah.
First off, my dog was just snoring so damn loud I had to take my headphones off and see what the noise was.
Okay, I didn't even know you left, man. I'm just going over the results.
You was looking at him. I'm not a fan of 4 wide. I just gotta say it. I'm really
very
not.
Confusing. I would like to try bracket racing doing it though once.
I mean, yeah, just to do something different. But watching it, look, it was super confusing. I was trying, and look, I apologize. I was doing my best, y'all. I'm not a cameraman. I'm trying. I'll get better. So
well, you needed the camera that Kaylee's got.
I know. Yeah. So look, fair enough. That is part of it. So I was using my phone, which these phones now are pretty much a computer / digital camera all in one.
I need to be your cameraman.
But yeah, when you're actually trying to film from the stands, look, I just had my phone, so I did the best we could. I know it wasn't the greatest. I know I was fumbling with the zoom, and I apologize. I'm trying. I did need the camera, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, when you're trying to film it though, regardless of what you got, and you're trying to make sure you're kind of in focus and trying to stay with them, and there's 4 bikes, I didn't have a clue who the hell was doing what. Like
See,
I watched Q1 and Q2, and when I got back to the pits and talking with it, I had to ask the racers, like, well, how'd you do? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. It's just 4 bikes and just shit going on. So
I try to practice like judging the stripe when I'm watching them, like who's in front, who's in front. So when I went live on Sunday, I was trying to call the winners, like the two that went across first before they got there. You know what
well,
I mean?
yeah, but you
So
just watching, you weren't doing anything else. When I was trying to film and
I
watch,
mean,
and
I
it's
was
just like,
filming.
oh, all right. Well, I don't know. You're better at multitasking. That's all I can say
I
though.
really am a good multitasker.
Yeah, you are. Okay. Carry on.
Okay, we're gonna go straight to E2,
All right.
straight to the gut. The last two quads. The first quad was Richard, Hector, Ellie, and Matt Smith. And Richard
What?
had the best. What?
Sorry. My bad. I'm looking at something else.
Bro,
Continue
you're
on.
killing me.
I know. My bad. I got all jacked up. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. All right.
I
Sorry.
mean, I'm just reading off this sheet
I know.
here.
I got it.
So,
Go. I'm on the same
um,
page now.
anyway, Richard, Hector Rana Jr., Ellie, and Matt was the first quad. Richard and Matt had matching 017 reaction times. Richard was 107, Hector was 108, Ellie was 105.2, and Matt was 105.8. Notice that Matt was 105, not 108, not 107, not 109. He was 105. The big helper.
Good 60.
Yeah, actually that wasn't. Yeah, that was it. He went 105, and I'm going to go straight to Matt here. Previous reading of their post. Little story behind it. NHRA mounted the camera on their box for Denzo, and at first Matt didn't want it on there because weight. And basically, they come by, they weighed everything. He said, "Okay, put it on there." They put it on there, and the air hose on the for the shifter on the V twin literally goes 2 inches or so, or maybe less than that, by the exhaust, and the exhaust melted the damn hole in the airline, and he didn't go to second. Like he was about to lay down probably a good competitive lap. I mean, LE did have the best 60 foot of those four, but I mean, he was right there, and we know he's got good power. So he was probably getting ready to, make a mean lap, and it just,
Well, and for
the racing.
comparison, in Q1, when Matt laid down his 668, he was only 106.8 to the 60. So he was a solid,
He was going to go a 67, 68 that pass, if I was
Yeah.
guessing.
If everything lined up, he should have.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
should have
mean, he
went
could have
faster than
been
68,
he could
maybe,
have been the
depending on the air.
fastest. He could have been fastest of that session, possibly. So that kind of leads to the parity. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like everything is square game on that deal. Anyway, the two winners of that quad was Richard and Ellie. Richard went a 678. Ellie went a 677. And Hector and Matt both basically shut them off. They both had low mile an hour. Richard did go 200. Ellie went 198.
Oh,
The
that's
second,
cool. Was that his first 200, or did he?
I don't know if it was or not, to be
I wasn't even
honest.
paying attention. He might have done that in Gainesville. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry, don't let me get
And
off
then
track.
the last quad for round two was Chase Van Sant, Pizza John Hall, Gage Herrera, and Angie Smith. Man, I mean, we're talking, Angie and Gage, 017 light for Gage, 018 for Angie. It was about to be potentially a close deal. And then Angie's bike must have spun or something because she had a 111 short. She just went 679. The other two pair was Chase went 002 red. And I do want to point out that Chase was destroying the tree. I think pretty much every session. He is definitely a racer. Now, I got to give some love to fucking John. John Hall was doing a great job all weekend. John was 055, 106 short, 674. And him and Gage was the two winners of that four. Gage did go 104 short, 280, 429, 559,000, 669 at 202. So kind of pointing back at Matt's pass by his 60 foot and knowing that, what he run in this qualifier, he could have at least matched Gage's 669 that pass. Like it could have been dead heat. You know what I mean? Like really close race. For the finals, the last four, of course, was Ellie, John Hall, Gage, and Richard. Now, this is a big deal for Vance and Hines. You have basically campaigning or Vance and Hines involved 4 motorcycles. You got Kelly's, Ellie's, and then the 2 team bikes, of course, is Gage and Richard. And 3 of those 4 in the final 4, which is cool. But don't y'all forget about my boy John. John done a damn good job this weekend. I'm not going to quit saying it. He was cutting good lights. Ellie did go 016 red, so he was out. He went 678, 201. Drop him off. What was left was John Hall, Gage, and Richard. Gage and Richard. Gage was 019. Richard was 022. John was 024 on the tree. So all those 3 that still left in, because Ellie went red, you're talking 5,000 separation on the tree. It's about to be a race. Gage was 104. Richard was 105. John was 107. At the 330, John was 286. Gage was 280. Richard was 282. At the 8th mile, John was 435. Gage was 428. Richard was 432. At this moment, Richard's bike started pulling him to the center or the outside. It's 4 wide, so it's kind of hard to go by, but it was pulling him toward out of the groove. He was getting ready to be in the gray stuff. And he was fighting it. I could tell by watching it. And at the finish line, Gage went 668. Richard went 676. And John went 675. So if you step back and look, John and Richard was 0-1 separation, 2,000 separation on the tree. So you're talking 8 thousandths between those 2 at the finish line, which is close, right? That's a Vance and Hines Suzuki and a Matt Smith Racing V twin paired up, 2 thousandths at the finish line. And basically, however you look at it, Gage got the win. John Hall got a runner up. And it was very exciting. I think that there is more parity, but it's not because rules got changed. I think there's more parity because Matt and them went and tested their tails off and changed some stuff and found some front half ET. If you want my honest opinion, I think that's what done it. We'll have them on here at some point. They can tell us what they think. But that's what I see. That's what I think. Gage is still a smidgen ahead of, like the other Vance and Hines bikes. But I'm telling y'all right now, you could take Gage's bike and stick every rider and Pro Stock motorcycle on it, and they're all going to be different times. Nobody's going to run the same time, period. It's just there's humans involved. They hit shift lights. They're got to make sure they finesse the bike, which Gage has preached to us. The difference in what he's used to is the finesse and, minor movements and this and that. So realistically, it was great to see them back. And it's also great to know that they're going right back racing again. Is it this weekend or next? Next weekend, right?
Let's see here. I'll pull up the schedule. No, I think it's not right away.
They go to Route 66 on May 17th
they
through
go
19th.
to Chicago. Yep.
A big thing about Route 66 is there's going to be Pingle Top Fuel motorcycles there.
That's right.
So there's going to be double things to watch. There's going to be, let's see, I'm going to be racing.
XDA.
Is that XDA?
Yep.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do any. I'll try. Maybe if I'm at the trailer or something while something's going down, I'll try to video it for y'all, but it's not real likely. We'll have to catch up on that, me and Ben, when we get home from that deal. But I'm glad that they're back in the cycle of NHRA because we just need a little less talk and a lot more action. Actions speak louder than words.
I think that's a country song.
It is. And I'm a big country guy, old hillbilly. But I do think that talking about stuff and assuming things is not result of just proven numbers on the racetrack. And I just now spit out a bunch of numbers. To me, sounds like everybody's pretty damn close. You know what I mean? Now,
here, you ran through the results and the thing. Let me tell you what I seen and talked to because I was down there.
Yeah.
So I got down there late Thursday night. I was there all day Friday, and for a couple hours Saturday morning too before I had to hit the road. Look, I talked to, I think, at least 10 of the pro stock racers over the weekend. At least 10. It might have been more. I didn't get everybody, but I was able to talk to most people. First thing I want to say, every one of these racers is a badass racer and they work their asses off. They invest a lot of, and everybody's a little different from whether they have their own program, whether they're renting, whatever it may be. But I'm telling y'all, these racers, they mean business. And whether they're spending hard-earned money, whether they're working their tails off, whatever it may be, they all come to win. So, mad respect to all the competitors. It's a hard class, there, like I said, there's lots. This stuff isn't cheap, y'all. We've said it before. Some racers, a few racers, very few, do it for a living. Most of the racers pay to do it. And a lot of them out of their own pockets. Yeah, some have sponsors and all, but it's a lot of money and a lot of effort. Anyways, look, I talked to over half the field, and generally speaking, it was a positive vibe. I didn't hear much negativity. Really none that I heard.
There wasn't none before.
Well,
It
and there was
all
really
made up.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit. I mean, like
there is. Everybody's got
there's-
an opinion, right?
Well,
But there
I mean,
wasn't
look,
no.
there's no doubt that like Matt and has expressed some frustrations and
Yeah.
asked for some things. And hey, if you're getting beat, whatever it may be, and look, we're not getting into the Facebook stuff of like that person's this or that person that. They're just trying to be heard. And also, I don't personally look. I'll just tell y'all how I am when I'm at these NHRA events, because yes, I was down there and I was mostly covering it for Red Hill. Okay. But I've been to plenty of events in the past, working them for clients and other things where there is no media affiliation whatsoever. I pride myself in being very courteous to the racers because I'm a racer myself and I know how that is. Every racer,
Timing is everything.
right. So every racer and every crew this past weekend welcomed me with open arms. No, come on in, come in the pits. Even some people that I met, like I had seen and probably talked to Chase just a few times ever, maybe at a race. Never really met his dad Bruce. Ended up talking with Bruce Friday morning and introduced
Super
myself.
duper good people.
Yeah,
Man.
awesome guy. We talked about quite a few things, and then I'd mentioned like, hey, Chase around, love to talk. He said, oh yeah, let me go get him. So the racer profiles we've been talking about, first one up, Mr. Chase Van Sant. Looking forward to sharing those with y'all. I got quite a few over the weekend, but look, talked with Chase for probably a good 20 minutes and just a super nice young man. Got his head on straight, and that's a great family. And they're going to
Very
do
professional and
yeah.
proper. And man, it makes me feel like sloppy as shit.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? We're
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
But look, my point is that
Just like how I said shit.
yeah. Look, side note, we're checking out a dang, I guess you'd kind of call it like a preschool for Walker this afternoon. And we're talking to like the principal or whatever, and next thing I know, Tiffany's like hitting me in the side because I've done said shit like 3 times in a row, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm that guy. Anyways,
I mean,
not professional.
Yeah, sure they're used to it.
Not at school. She is, but all right, back on track. Everybody opened me with welcome arms, come on in, hang out, talked with me, whatever. But like I said, the general vibe was all positive. I didn't talk to anybody that was pointing at this trailer or pointing at that trailer. Like, it is
You got
what
to
it
dig
is.
for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're just talking to them about their day and how their weekend's going.
So, I get it. We're all racers. Dustin and I are racers. Most of y'all
there's
listen are
times I can
racers.
come back and I sound like I repeat myself over. I tell you what I done wrong ever. If I
Yeah,
lost
and well,
or
that's my
whatever.
point. Like some of it, when you come back in the heat of the moment and somebody's, in your
Don't stick a
grill, hey,
camera in somebody's
yeah.
face. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so I
That's not
talked
what we're
with,
looking for
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So I just try to be courteous and stay out of the way and talk with racers and teams when it seems like a good opportunity. So it took a while to get some of the content I wanted, but we got a lot of good content. had a
And that's
lot of
just
good conversations with a lot of racers. And, like I said, they're all working hard and they all want to win rounds. It didn't matter whether, Ryan Oler, him and Brad McCoy and their whole team, they did not have the weekend they wanted. But you know what
what's
they're going
about
to
to
do?
say that,
They're
right?
going to work their asses off.
But we obviously there's some teams that's struggling, right? We obviously that there's. I mean, Ryan used to be like going rounds, and he's gotten a slump and he's trying to work
Yeah.
his way out of it. And this stuff ain't easy. Sometimes you get lost and you can't remember where you were at, and you're just trying to get back to where you was to build off of it. And that's where they're at right now. Is they're trying to figure out where to go and how to get back to where they was. Steve Johnson, a couple of years ago, he was in contention for the championship, and Steve's become really quickly a friend of mine that I talk to often, and he's digging, trying to get his tune-up back, and Steve's still just chipper, happy Steve, glad to be there. From what I understand.
Oh yeah,
And
I talked to Steve for a while Saturday morning, and you know what? Steve he wasn't talking about rules. He wasn't talking about parity. You know what Steve was talking to me a lot
the
about?
sport,
Exactly. He was talking about the sport, and
that's what he wants.
he wasn't bragging by any means, but he was telling me a lot of the initiatives and some of the stuff he's tried to push forward and just help make the class stronger.
He's
And
trying to grow the class because
yeah,
he's dedicated his entire life to that class. And
100%.
and he's
There's
still
quite a few
dedicating it.
people that have. I mean,
Yeah,
Matt and
yeah,
Angie have been racing forever.
yeah.
Y'all
Vance and
saw,
Hines
yeah,
dedicated
Vance
their
and
whole
Hines.
life to it.
So,
I mean, there's so many that's out there that's give all they got, and I mean, for one that it pops in your mind for me is somebody that's to get dedicated a lot to it that's not there at this race, or two of them actually would be Jerry Savoy and Miss Karen Stouffer. Like
oh yeah.
those two have dedicated their life to Pro Stop Motorcycle, and I think Karen, obviously is retired, and I still think she's probably the best female at this moment still ever do it because she was just a machine. No discredit to Gianna. I have a whole bunch, or Angie, whole bunch of respect, for those two and what they've done and what they're doing. I just feel like Karen was, really good at what she done, and I'm sure Gary would love it that I'm saying that. But I've always thought that she was one of the best to ever do it,
Yeah.
and I'm
And
a big Angel fan. I'm just, just the truth.
Um, yeah, and talking about these women that are, paving ways and setting a
Kelly,
great example,
yeah, out
Kelly.
there racing.
Um, Look, I got to I did not I will get a racer profile with Kelly as well. We're gonna get a lot, but I was able to talk with
But you
Gianna
was dealing with the
and
timing,
Angie.
right? You were trying to
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard to get
hard. It's
everybody's if we're
hard.
trying not to be rude,
I got to go to multiple events, but I
Yeah.
got to talk with Angie and Gianna and get a little racer profile from them both. So look forward to sharing that with y'all. Shout out to Gianna, and it's funny because at Gainesville, I was talking with
Let's start off
her
rocky.
and Boo. Yeah, Boo was like they somehow we got on the XDA, and Boo was like, man, I've been telling Gianna she needs to come out there, and she's worried about people talking smack and this and that. And I looked her straight in the face and I said, look, guilty as charged. I said, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I said I know I was talking some smack, but not like not like anything against
It
you,
was
just
more of
like
a safety thing. You
yeah,
were
just
worried
like
about somebody getting hurt.
right. And I told her that. And I said, look, guilty as charged. I said, but I'm gonna look you
Now
square
look
in the
at her.
eye, tell you, and I'm gonna tell you that last year, and that's what I told her in Gainesville, the improvement that Gianna showed last year in 2023,
Oh,
I would have lost a lot of money betting on that improvement.
at
And
Gainesville, she had a tire D bead and didn't drop the
I
bike.
know,
That is
So
amazing.
look, I will eat my words and take my humble pie when needed. And I told her straight at Gainesville, I said, I said some things in the past, not like I said in an intentional, mean or negative way. She would had a lot of, and I know some were out of her control, but there was quite a few incidents. So I was worried, and I told her, I said, you in 2023 made me a believer, and let me tell y'all, talking with that girl, she is a
She
fierce
wants it bad.
competitor.
Yes.
Boo, as he
Oh,
works
he's
on John
whipping her
Hall's.
in shape, ain't
Yeah,
he?
well, no, I mean, just Boo will tell you like that
Yeah.
girl. He told me, he said when she gets back from a pass, she analyzes everything and she is looking at every little way to improve, and that's awesome.
That's what
That's
it
awesome.
takes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And then just Angie coming back after that get off last year, and she the two little racer profiles interviews I did, they're cool because you learn some about not only them but everybody we did. And y'all are going to enjoy those, so I don't want to share too much, but it's
No,
cool to
need to cut that out now.
hear
No more.
hear their stories and what they got going on.
Either way, we just now went over 3 really good race weekends.
Oh yeah.
And 3 different kind of racing styles and platforms, and covered it all.
And we got some interviews coming up. As Dustin said, Matt and Angie Smith, they're coming on. We're going to firm up a date probably the next couple of days. We'll get with
Steve
them.
Johnson, he wants on.
Steve said, cue me up after Matt and Angie. He said he wants on right after him. I said, all right, man, we'll get you on.
We're just trying to let everybody talk about how they feel about it. We're not asking for anything. Let them talk about what they want to talk about. If I guarantee you, Steve's going to be just talking about how much he loves the sport and how much he wants to keep it growing. And I'm sure that Angie and them's going to talk about how hard they've been working, and it shows. We see it. And the numbers don't lie. Just like I told y'all a little bit ago, a little less talk and a lot more action. We seen their hard work this weekend, and it was all in the 60 foot and the 330. I seen it. I'm a bracket racer. I crunch numbers. That's what I do. I sumped it. And
they're finding some stuff.
Well, that's what it. We me and you seen the deficit that they were missing, and they obviously knew that they were missing it there, and then they went to work. They went testing. I think they tested 3 or 4 times.
And tested a lot.
I got offered to come to one of them, and I didn't go because it was the night before. But either way, they worked hard. They put the work in. They spent some time in the shop. They made changes. They spent money, and they go to the racetrack and got results. That is awesome. In my opinion, you never lose if you learn. And they learned something. Matt learned the next time that NHRA puts a camera on his bike, he's checking the damn airline for sure. And I hope he don't take that the wrong way, because I'm the type of person, if something happens to me, I will never have that mistake happen again if it's preventable. I will do what I can to prevent it. And
all these teams, like I said, they're all working their ass off.
They're all working hard. I mean, Ryan don't sleep, I don't think.
No, he does not sleep.
I don't know how this dude's alive. How's he even riding the motorcycle? And you know what is amazing about him? Is he's always so positive and happy. Whether he might hang his head down and feel bad about how it's going, but he's still thinking, I'm going to get this. I'm going to figure this out. And
there ain't no quitting that dog. That's for sure.
No, I mean, me and you and Tim Haley hung out with him at PRI one year, went out and just had some drinks, and super just good, genuine person. And he ain't going to lay down, and he's going to keep digging. And I want to see all of them, reach their goals and get going to where they want to be. I mean, I'm looking at some 60 foots.
We're fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been my whole life.
That's what I was telling everybody. Like, yeah, we want to cover, and we want to do our best to cover it our way, because hey, at the end of the day, it's our effing podcast. So we're gonna cover it our way and do what we want to do. And if other people want to do it some other way, good on them. That's just not the way we do it. But
we just want to be welcome with open arms. We want to be that kind of people, not the ones that people like.
And they're all working their ass off. You better believe Vance and I, with the fuel changes and all. Andrew was telling me, he said, man, I spent a lot of time on the dyno.
Yeah.
He said, I hope it works out. He said, I spent a lot of time on the dyno. So
had to, right? I mean, they didn't go track testing anywhere, but they didn't, they had to at least have that dyno time to figure out, okay, what are we losing? What do we got to do to maybe get it back? Whatever, and they did fine. They did great. I do want to say this, my little buddy, I posted about it on Facebook. Gage that little bit of cayenne pepper in his interviews, just a little sprinkled in there for them haters, and y'all really got to be careful, because certain people, when you talk about them, all it does is motivate them. You could take someone that's great and move them up to that level, that next level that Eddie was talking about in their interview with us, and you might not want that. You might not want those problems, and I'm pretty sure his worst slot was like a 02.
Well, that's what he said in his interview. He's like, man, everybody said I couldn't cut a light, and I was making sure. Yeah, he was. He was rocking. He was 028 first round. Gage was. Then second round, Mr. Gage was
017, and then the finals he was what, 19?
028 was his worst slot
019, yeah. 028, 017, 019.
in
Y'all
eliminations.
lit a fire
028.
on her dude.
I mean, he was a bracket racer at one time, and you don't fuck with bracket racers. Just saying.
Talking about bracket racing, and look, we raced with Pizza John, Mr. John Hall, and he was on a tear at XDA. We did not mention
In
that.
ET.
He went down to what, the quarters or
In
semis
street
in
ET.
street ET on
Yeah.
his an old Gixxer real street bike. He
Yeah.
was having a blast. And look, me and Dustin are firm believers. That helps. That helps. It's not the same as a
seat
bar
time,
bike,
staying in
but
the
he
saddle,
was
just being in the
racing,
environment. Yeah.
And look, John's just a cool as a
Good
cucumber
old
at the
dude, man.
racetrack. He's
He
hanging
hollered at
out.
me and said, "Come eat some pizza Saturday night."
Man,
I
he
think
was
it
cooking
was.
up pizza every day at NHRA.
Yeah, I
had
went
some
over
Friday and
well,
Saturday.
Saturday night at XDA. I went over and I was like, "I'll eat one piece. I've already I eat a piece of it and hung out with him for a little bit." We, of course, all laughing. I was like,
Oh,
"Man, they
yeah.
call you Pizza John." It was like, "Oh no, don't get it started." John was like, "There's only one Pizza John." I'm like, "Well, Papa John gives me the shits, so you're Pizza John."
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh man.
TMI, TMI.
A little
But
bit. We're getting late. We're getting late on it.
yeah, I'm getting tired. We need to give some stuff away. We're going to do
Okay.
3, right? Shirt,
Yeah. Yeah.
certificate, and a top tree. DME
Okay.
top tree.
Yep. All right. Let's do that. But yeah, stay tuned for these interviews we'll have coming up. Let us know what you want to hear, what you need to hear. We're all open. And tell
Real
your
quick.
friends to subscribe if they haven't. I don't know why the hell they haven't.
That's where I was going. Real quick before we give this stuff away. Y'all, I see people all the time on Facebook doing like a 2-option giveaway.
Most
for
people
the
still don't know. So tell your friends.
Same money, and we're giving away. We probably still have $13,000 or $14,000 worth of stuff to give away.
You know who signed up on Friday?
No idea.
Pizza John. He said, I
Pizza
didn't know
John.
about that. I said, man, he said, how you? I said, I typed it in his phone, the website, and 60 seconds later, he showed me, he said, look, paid.
Well, look, I mean, even if you don't have time to listen, which I hope y'all are listening, if you just like gambling, I mean,
I love to
I
gamble.
told Marcus and him at the racetrack this past weekend, I wish I could play, but I can't. It's a conflict of interest. They're like, oh, you could have Tamara. I said, no, because then it would be an ordeal.
All right,
But
here we go.
I want to see my friends benefit from it. So,
all right, we're gonna do a Larry McBride shirt right now.
Okay, here we go.
We're doing random number. It's gonna be quick.
137.
That's a new subscriber. Let me put it in here. Whoa, hold on. I can get all this stuff. I can't.
There's a hard times invoice.
Watch out. Bronson Grothis. Okay.
Oh man. That's very cool.
All right. Where are we at? We gotta get back to her. All right. Y'all ready? We are doing Schnitz Racing gift certificate.
Yep. Do it for Dale.
You know who that is, right? I don't have to look. It's Spencer.
Is it really the first person that subbed up?
Yeah.
No way. Oh my God.
Schnitz Racing.
He can use that.
Yeah,
he can buy like a partially head gasket or something with it.
All right.
Always tearing stuff up.
Last one.
The DME top tree.
For a booster. Y'all ready?
A booster. 103.
All right.
Look at all this variety, guys. See, this random number thing is cool.
Yeah, I like it. I kind of like it better than the wheel. It's quicker too.
It is quicker.
Jason, some more.
That's Chris Solkowski's wiring guy or customizing. I don't know what you call him. He's his builder
engineer.
Guy.
He's an engineer.
He's an engineer. Yeah.
Nice guy. Nice guy. I met him at the end of last year, and then him and his daughter came by at XDA. That was cool.
Very clean motorcycle. Of course, you can obviously tell that he builds stuff. Yeah, very nice. My bikes are way dirtier because I ain't got time for that. Oh yeah, mine's cleaner than yours.
Yeah. So Mike Belos loses sleep every night of his life over my bikes.
Yeah, as long as them wind lights turn on, as long as they can turn the electricity on the scoreboards, that's what matters. I ain't turning
on none of them fucking things lately.
That's what happens when you test at the racetrack.
Yeah. So, it's all for the people. It's all for the people. It's all for y'all.
Saying that, we ain't going to have Ben at the next XDA race. The next race
Oh
that I
man,
go
we telling
to
them that.
ain't gonna have Ben. I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, I'll miss y'all. I'll be back at the next one. I'll be back at the next one. For sure. All right. Shout out once again to our sponsors. Here next time we gotta I'm slacking. We're gonna do sponsor spotlights next time. We're gonna start hitting these individually. We gotta talk the good deed of everyone.
Oh yeah,
But
we need to do that.
we'll do it next go round.
It'll
Promise.
take several weeks, as many as we got.
I know.
Also, again, we appreciate each and every one of you, and said this is awesome.
Yeah.
To be honest, we could fill this whole thing up behind us. We've had so many more reach out that we don't want to water it down. We're trying to make sure that they get their value.
Well, and honestly, I've lost track. I just haven't had time. So if you still want to be a part, hit me up. Remind me. I don't know. I'm doing a million things.
We got a couple. It's in the works still.
Yeah, shout out. University of Wynn. Y'all need to sign up. Y'all are missing out. I'm telling y'all. BMF Motorsports, Max ECU, Montgomery Motorsports, MPS Racing, Penske Racing Shocks, Hard Times Parts and Service, DME Racing, Schnitz Racing, Rocks Performance, MTC Engineering, which we hope to see Eric at the next XDA. Couldn't make the last one. BST Wheels, Mitch Brown, Monster Race Products, Ralphie and Platinum General Services, and last but not least, our homie from New Jersey, Mr. Conforti.
Just put a fresh set of bearings in one of my rear wheels.
Dave has all the balls.
Yep. Send him my old ones to clean them and send them back for spares. He's the man.
That's all I got, man.
I'm tired if you guys haven't realized it.
Second greatest fat man on a Busa bracket racer have anything else to say?
I would like to be third greatest because I do it for Dale. I think I'll randomly select
Dale Hamilton's a good, yeah.
Dale Hamilton is
a great candidate.
Is superior to me as a big man on a Busa.
There it is, Dale and Gina. If y'all listen,
to be honest, if I can't be 3, I would prefer to be 69.
Oh, y'all, it's almost 11 o'clock.
I still got my wit, right?
Yeah, you do always. You're witty. And y'all all probably know this by now, but this son bitch is witty. He acts like he's a dumb
let me say something before we say
but he's witty.
This will be the last thing that I got to say. Me as a racer, the only goal that I've ever had in our sport was before I started racing a lot of big races, and my wife can vouch for this. She's probably said this before online, is I just wanted people to know who I was. That's all I've ever wanted. And this was in like 2013. And in 2014, I started racing out of town with Ben and them the first year of Banff. I didn't race the whole season because my daughter was born that year. So I took some time off.
Plus, it was expensive.
And I didn't have a whole lot of money.
He was riding thin back then.
I was spending my bill money to go racing at the time.
Yeah.
And anyway, in 2014, there was 2 things that I accomplished. I created my child. I have a little girl born. And the thing that I wanted to happen was everybody knew who I was. And that was accomplished in 2014. There is no other accomplishments that I've personally set out for myself except just goals that I try to accomplish just to keep me progressing. Never think I will be, never think I am the best at anything except eating biscuits and gravy. Simple as that.
Oh, you had to bring up Banff. See, back then there was a time where I thought I was the baddest mofo to bracket race, and it took me quite a few years to come to grips with that. And yeah, I finally realized I was not.
If there was Banff, I would have probably won it the last 3 years.
You mean these last 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably. Who knows? It wouldn't even. Yeah.
I'd be leading Banff right now if there was a Banff.
Banff, man, what a time to be alive.
It was interesting. A lot of life lessons was learned.
It was fun for a minute, and then it wasn't fun. How about that?
It wasn't. When I give up on Banff after 2017, like 17 was the last year that I chased it. And I was like, I'm done. I can't race all these races.
Shit,
I can't.
I quit the year before. You pounded
you
me.
Did.
You beat my ass so
well,
bad.
You started the year before me too. So we actually run it.
Still couldn't win that shit.
Yeah.
I was close.
And you did. And I think 2018.
That was my damn brainchild too. That was my baby.
Yeah, 2018 was the last draw of it. And I think Jeremy won it that year. And I did not want to be a part of it at all. I was forced to be on the list. And I done everything I was supposed to do not to be. So if I wanted to be not humble or egotistical, I wouldn't have never quit anything. So either way, we really appreciate all y'all listening. We appreciate the ones that subscribed. We appreciate our sponsors. And if your old lady or your son or your daughter wants to be on the subscription list to get something cool, sign up. And Ben dropped the hearts right there on that little last touch. And now you're all dark looking. What are you doing
I
now?
was trying to get some fireworks.
Oh, now you're back in the light again.
Fireworks. Where are they at?
There's like, it's behind your head or something.
What the heck? We can't get no fireworks. All right, more
No.
peace and love. What
Oh,
the
there's
hell
like
is
little
that?
sparkles. Oh, there's
I don't
hearts.
know, man. I don't know. I
He
give
won't
up.
do that stuff for me. See,
I'm tired.
He won't give me that stuff.
Maybe it's because my thumb's crooked. I don't see shit on you. You
No,
can't
it's
do
like, I
anything
guess
cool.
because you're the leader of the show here.
Leader of the cult.
Yeah. Oof. I don't know about that. But
Yeah, I know that's bad. All right. It's late. We've been at
All
this
right.
for 3 hours.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
It's been a while. All right. We hope y'all enjoy this one. We will most likely be back within the next week or two with an interview. So stay tuned.
Preferably 2.
Well, just we gotta give the people what they want. We gotta work with these professional racers'
I know.
schedules, man.
I know.
Getting tight. It's getting tight. All right.
All right.
We'll see
See
y'all.
y'all later.